Let me tell you something: success, greatness, achieving your dreams, it all starts in one place, your mind. That's where the battle is won or lost. You can have all the talent, all the opportunities, all the connections in the world, but if your mind isn't focused, none of it matters. Because where your mind goes, your life follows. When it comes to achieving success, everything starts with clarity of vision. Without a clear idea of where you're going, you'll find yourself wandering aimlessly, pulled in 100 different directions by distractions, opinions, and doubts. Clarity is the foundation of focus. It's the starting point of every great achievement. You must know what you want and why you want it. And that vision must burn so brightly in your mind that it lights your path forward, even when the way ahead feels uncertain or difficult. Imagine trying to build a house without a blueprint. No matter how good the materials are or how skilled the workers might be, if there's no clear plan, what you end up with will be a mess. It won't resemble the home you dreamed of. It'll be something thrown together with no structure or purpose. Life works the same way. If you don't have a clear vision, you'll waste time, energy, and opportunities building something that doesn't fulfill you. You'll wake up one day realizing that you've been busy but not productive. You've been moving but not progressing. That's the price of a life lived without clarity. So the first step to focusing your mind is deciding exactly what you want. This might sound simple, but it's not. Many people go through life without ever asking themselves this question. They chase what others expect of them. They follow trends, mimic what they see others doing, or settle for what feels safe and comfortable. But you're not here to live someone else's dream. You're here to create your own. To do that, you must take the time to sit with yourself, block out the noise, and get honest about what really matters to you. Clarity isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about understanding why you want it. The why behind your vision is what fuels your focus. It's what keeps you going when things get tough, when the journey feels long, and when obstacles appear in your path. If your why is weak, your focus will falter. But if your why is strong, nothing can shake you. You'll stay locked in, no matter what comes your way. To gain clarity, you must dig deep. Ask yourself, what makes me come alive? What are the things I can't stop thinking about? The dreams that keep calling me, no matter how much I try to ignore them. What legacy do I want to leave behind? Don't settle for surface level answers. Push yourself to explore the core of who you are and what you stand for. This process takes time, but it's worth it. Because once you're clear about what you want, your focus sharpens. Your energy becomes aligned with your purpose, and your actions become intentional. Clarity also requires courage. It takes bravery to admit what you truly want, especially when it feels bigger than you or when it goes against what others expect of you. But here's the truth: your vision isn't supposed to make sense to everyone else. It doesn't have to fit into their boxes or meet their approval. It only has to resonate with you. When you're clear about your purpose, you stop seeking validation from the outside world. You realize that the only approval you need is your own. Once you have clarity, the next step is to commit to it. It's not enough to just know what you want. You must declare it to yourself and the world. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Visualize it every single day. Keep that vision in front of you like a beacon, reminding yourself of what you're working toward. Clarity is not a one-time revelation. It's something you must revisit and refine continuously. As you grow, your vision may evolve, and that's okay. What's important is that you always have something guiding you, pulling you forward. Having a clear vision doesn't mean you'll have all the answers or a perfect plan. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step, but that step must be guided by your vision. Even when you're unsure of the exact path, clarity gives you the confidence to move forward, trusting that each step will reveal the next. It's like driving a car at night. You can't see your destination, but as long as your headlights illuminate the road ahead, you can keep moving in the right direction. Clarity also simplifies your life. When you know what you want, decisions become easier. You're no longer pulled in a million different directions because you have a filter to guide your choices. Does this align with my vision? Will this move me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, you don't waste your time or energy on it. This kind of focus is liberating. It frees you from the trap of indecision and allows you to channel your energy into what truly matters. But be prepared, clarity will challenge you. It will require you to let go of things that don't align with your vision, even if they're comfortable or familiar. It will push you to step out of your comfort zone and take risks. It will demand that you stay disciplined and committed, even when the progress feels slow. But every sacrifice you make in the name of your vision is an investment in your future. And the rewards are worth it. The most powerful thing about clarity is that it empowers you to create your life on your terms. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances or other people's expectations. You're no longer drifting aimlessly, hoping that things will somehow work out. With clarity, you take control. You become the architect of your own destiny, building a life that reflects your values, your dreams, and your potential. So take the time to get clear. Get specific about what you want. See it in your mind, feel it in your heart, and commit to it with everything you've got. Because when you have clarity of vision, you have the foundation for focus, and with focus, there's nothing you can't achieve. Your mind is your most valuable asset. It is the control center of your life, the engine that drives your decisions, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. But here's the thing, your mind is also a vulnerable space. If you're not careful, it can become a dumping ground for negativity, doubts, fears, and distractions. This is why guarding your mind is not just important, it's essential. If you allow the wrong thoughts, ideas, or influences to take root, they can derail your progress, weaken your focus, and rob you of your potential. Guarding your mind begins with awareness. You have to recognize that not every thought you think is true, and not every idea presented to you is worth accepting. The world is full of negativity, people who will tell you what you can't do, why your dreams are impossible, or why you're not good enough. If you internalize these voices, they become your reality. But the truth is, they are only as powerful as the space you give them in your mind. You have the ability to reject them, to build mental walls that keep them out. Guarding your mind is about taking control of what you allow to influence you. One of the biggest threats to your mind is negativity. It comes in many forms: criticism, toxic people, self-doubt, fear, and even the constant bombardment of bad news from the media. If you're not careful, this negativity can seep into your thoughts and slowly erode your confidence and motivation. Think of it like a garden. If you let weeds grow unchecked, they'll choke out the healthy plants. But if you tend to your garden, pulling out the weeds and nurturing the good seeds, it will flourish. Your mind is the same. You must protect it from negativity and intentionally feed it with positivity. Guarding your mind also means being selective about who you allow into your life. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your journey. Some people are like anchors. They drag you down with their pessimism, their jealousy, or their lack of ambition. These are the people who tell you to be realistic, who discourage you from dreaming big, or who criticize you for stepping outside your comfort zone. Guarding your mind means distancing yourself from these people, no matter how close they might be to you. This doesn't mean you have to cut everyone off, but it does mean you need to limit their influence on your thoughts and decisions. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, who believe in you, and who push you to be your best. Another key aspect of guarding your mind is controlling the content you consume. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with information from social media, news outlets, TV shows, podcasts, and more. If you're not intentional about what you're consuming, it's easy to become overwhelmed or distracted. Ask yourself, is this adding value to my life? Is it inspiring me, educating me, or helping me grow? If the answer is no, then it's time to reconsider how much space you're giving it in your mind. Just like your body needs healthy food to function at its best, your mind needs healthy content to thrive. It's not just external influences you need to guard against. Your internal dialogue is just as important. The way you talk to yourself matters. If your self-talk is full of doubt, fear, and negativity, it will undermine your focus and motivation. Pay attention to the thoughts that dominate your mind. Are they building you up or tearing you down? When you catch yourself thinking negatively, challenge those thoughts. Replace them with affirmations of your potential, your worth, and your capability. This is not about blind optimism. It's about choosing to focus on what empowers you instead of what limits you. Guarding your mind requires discipline. It's not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. Every day you have to make the choice to protect your mental space, to be intentional about what you let in and what you keep out. This might mean setting boundaries, whether that's limiting the time you spend on social media, saying no to conversations that drain your energy, or walking away from situations that don't serve your purpose. It might mean starting your day with practices that strengthen your mind, like meditation, journaling, or reading something uplifting. Whatever it looks like for you, the key is consistency. Sometimes the biggest challenge to guarding your mind comes from within. Your fears, doubts, and insecurities can be the most persistent voices of all. They know your weaknesses, your failures, and your past mistakes, and they use them against you. But here's the truth: you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. These things only define you if you let them. Guarding your mind means reminding yourself of your strengths, your potential, and your worth every single day. It means choosing to believe in yourself even when it feels hard. Guarding your mind is about staying aligned with your vision. When you're clear about what you want, it becomes easier to recognize and reject anything that doesn't support your goals. Distractions lose their power when you know where you're headed. Doubts become less convincing when you're focused on your why. By keeping your vision front and center, you create a mental filter that helps you stay focused and intentional. Your mind is a powerful tool, but it's also a vulnerable one. It can either work for you or against you, depending on how well you protect it. Guarding your mind is not just about avoiding negativity, it's about creating an environment where positivity, growth, and focus can thrive. It's about choosing every day to be the gatekeeper of your thoughts and the architect of your mindset. Because when you guard your mind, you guard your future. Eliminating distractions is not just a strategy for success, it's a necessity. Distractions are everywhere, and they come in many forms. Some are obvious, like scrolling endlessly through social media, binge watching shows, or spending hours on things that add no value to your life. Others are more subtle but just as damaging, like unnecessary multitasking, negative relationships, or chasing goals that don't align with your true purpose. If you want to achieve anything meaningful, you must learn to recognize these distractions for what they are: thieves of your time, energy, and focus. Distractions don't always announce themselves loudly. Sometimes they sneak into your day disguised as obligations, opportunities, or even harmless habits. It's easy to justify them: I'm just taking a quick break, or this won't take long. But when you add up those quick moments, you realize they've stolen hours, sometimes days, that you could have invested in building your dream. Time is the one resource you can never get back, and every second spent on distractions is a second lost forever. The first step to eliminating distractions is understanding their true cost. They don't just waste your time, they delay your progress and dilute your focus, making it harder to achieve your goals. To eliminate distractions, you must first identify them. Take an honest look at how you're spending your time. Track your daily activities for a week. Where does your energy go? What pulls you away from what really matters? You might be surprised to find how much time is lost to activities that don't contribute to your growth or goals. Once you've identified these distractions, you can take steps to eliminate them. This process requires brutal honesty with yourself. You have to be willing to admit where you've been wasting time and commit to making a change. One of the biggest sources of distraction in today's world is technology. Our phones, laptops, and even smartwatches are constantly vying for our attention. Notifications, emails, and the lure of social media can pull you out of focus in an instant. Every time you stop what you're doing to check your phone or respond to a message, you're breaking your flow. Studies show that it can take up to 25 minutes to regain focus after a distraction. Imagine how much time you lose if this happens multiple times a day. The solution is simple but requires discipline. Turn off notifications, set specific times to check emails and messages, and create boundaries for how you use technology. Your phone should serve you, not control you. But technology isn't the only culprit. People can be distractions too. While relationships are important, not everyone deserves your time or attention. There are people in your life who may unintentionally or intentionally pull you off course. These might be friends who demand your attention but offer no support in return, colleagues who involve you in unnecessary drama, or even family members who don't understand your goals and try to impose their own priorities on you. Eliminating distractions doesn't mean cutting people off completely, but it does mean setting boundaries. Let people know when you're working and can't be disturbed. Protect your time fiercely because no one else will do it for you. Another form of distraction is what I call productive procrastination. This is when you're busy but not effective. You fill your time with tasks that feel important but don't actually move the needle on your goals. Maybe you're constantly checking emails, attending unnecessary meetings, or getting caught up in minor details instead of focusing on the bigger picture. To combat this, you need to prioritize ruthlessly. Ask yourself, does this task bring me closer to my goal? If not, delegate it, delay it, or delete it altogether. Not everything that demands your attention deserves it. Distractions often thrive in clutter, both physical and mental. A cluttered environment can make it harder to focus, while a cluttered mind filled with too many ideas or worries can leave you feeling overwhelmed and scattered. Simplify your space. Clear your desk, organize your tools, and create an environment that supports focus. For your mind, consider practices like journaling, meditation, or making detailed to-do lists to help you prioritize and stay on track. When your environment and your mind are clear, you'll find it much easier to stay focused. Sometimes distractions are internal. Fear, doubt, and indecision can pull you away from your goals just as easily as external distractions. You might find yourself procrastinating because you're afraid of failing or because you're unsure about your next step. In these moments, remind yourself of your vision and why you started in the first place. Break your tasks into smaller, manageable steps so you don't feel overwhelmed. Action kills fear. The more you do, the less power distractions will have over you. Eliminating distractions also means learning to say no. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. If you're constantly saying yes to other people's demands, you'll find there's no time left for your own priorities. Saying no is not selfish, it's necessary. It's about protecting your time and energy so you can focus on what truly matters. Remember, your goals deserve your attention. If you don't prioritize them, no one else will. Eliminating distractions requires discipline. It's not enough to recognize them. You have to actively resist them every single day. This means sticking to your schedule, staying committed to your priorities, and reminding yourself of what's at stake. Distractions will always be there, tempting you to stray from your path. But every time you choose focus over distraction, you're strengthening your ability to stay on course. You're training your mind to value what truly matters. Distractions are inevitable, but they don't have to control you. By identifying them, setting boundaries, and staying disciplined, you can eliminate the noise and reclaim your focus. Your time is too precious to waste. Every moment spent on distractions is a moment taken away from your dreams. Guard your time, protect your energy, and stay locked in on your purpose. Your success depends on it. Developing mental discipline is the cornerstone of achieving anything meaningful in life. Without it, even the most talented, intelligent, or passionate individuals will falter when faced with adversity, distractions, or the temptation of instant gratification. Discipline is the ability to stay the course, to act according to your goals and values, even when it's difficult, inconvenient, or unappealing. It's what separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. And the truth is, no matter how motivated you feel today, there will come a time when your motivation wanes. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. At its core, mental discipline is about mastery over your mind. It's the ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions instead of letting them control you. This doesn't mean suppressing how you feel or pretending challenges don't exist. It means being able to acknowledge those feelings and challenges without letting them dictate your behavior. For example, fear is natural, but mental discipline allows you to act in spite of it. Doubt will creep in, but discipline keeps you focused on your vision. Temptation to procrastinate or quit will arise, but discipline pushes you to keep going. Discipline starts with small daily decisions. It's not something that magically appears overnight. It's a skill you build, one choice at a time. Every time you follow through on what you said you would do, you strengthen your discipline. If you set a goal to wake up early and you resist the urge to hit the snooze button, that's discipline. If you commit to working on a project for an hour and you resist distractions, that's discipline. These seemingly small victories add up over time, creating a foundation of mental strength that can carry you through bigger challenges. One of the biggest obstacles to developing discipline is the temptation of instant gratification. We live in a world where everything is designed to be quick and easy: fast food, instant messaging, one-click shopping. This constant access to immediate rewards has trained our brains to crave shortcuts and avoid discomfort. But success doesn't come from shortcuts. It comes from consistent effort, patience, and the ability to delay gratification. Mental discipline requires you to resist the lure of what's easy now in favor of what's rewarding later. It's choosing to study instead of binge watching a series, to save money instead of splurging on unnecessary things, or to work out instead of staying in bed. These choices aren't always fun, but they're necessary. Another key aspect of mental discipline is learning to embrace discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you challenge yourself, push past your limits, and do the things that scare or intimidate you. Discipline is what allows you to face discomfort without running from it. This could mean waking up earlier than you're used to, having difficult conversations, or sticking to a routine even when you don't feel like it. Discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of discipline are lasting. The more you practice stepping outside your comfort zone, the more resilient and disciplined you become. Focus is an essential component of discipline. Without focus, it's easy to get pulled in 100 different directions, chasing things that don't align with your goals. Discipline helps you prioritize what matters and ignore what doesn't. It's about committing to one path and sticking to it, even when distractions arise. For example, if you've decided to write a book, discipline means dedicating time to write every day, no matter how busy or tired you are. It means saying no to activities that take time away from your writing, even if they're tempting in the moment. Discipline sharpens your focus and keeps you aligned with your purpose. Another important aspect of mental discipline is self-accountability. You can set all the goals you want, but if you don't hold yourself accountable, those goals will remain out of reach. Discipline means taking responsibility for your actions or lack of actions. It means owning up when you fall short instead of making excuses or blaming external factors. Self-accountability is what keeps you honest with yourself. When you're disciplined, you don't rely on someone else to push you. You push yourself because you know your goals are your responsibility. Mental discipline also requires consistency. It's not about making one great effort. It's about showing up every day, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum creates results. The hardest part of any journey is often at the beginning, when the results of your efforts aren't immediately visible. This is when most people give up. But those with mental discipline keep going, trusting that their hard work will pay off in the long run. It's about committing to the process, not just the outcome. One of the most powerful ways to build discipline is through habits. When you create positive habits, you make discipline automatic. For example, if you make it a habit to exercise every morning, you don't have to rely on willpower to decide whether or not to work out. It becomes part of your routine. The same goes for habits like reading, meditating, or setting daily goals. Habits are the building blocks of discipline. They allow you to conserve mental energy by automating the behaviors that support your success. Another key to developing discipline is having a strong why. When you're clear about why you're doing something, it becomes easier to stay disciplined. Your why is the fuel that keeps you going when things get tough. Maybe you're working hard to provide a better future for your family, to achieve financial freedom, or to fulfill a lifelong dream. Whatever your why is, keep it front and center. Remind yourself of it every day. Discipline becomes much easier when you're deeply connected to your purpose. Discipline doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes or slip up. What matters is how you respond when you do. Mentally disciplined people don't let setbacks derail them. They learn from them and get back on track. They understand that discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Every time you bounce back from a mistake or failure, you strengthen your discipline and your resolve. Mental discipline is what gives you the strength to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel in the moment. It's the bridge between your goals and your achievements, between who you are now and who you want to become. Developing discipline isn't easy, but it's worth it. It's the foundation of success, and it's within your power to build it, one decision at a time. Practicing mindfulness and presence is a game changer when it comes to sharpening your focus and achieving your goals. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to find yourself mentally scattered, thinking about the future, worrying about the past, or being distracted by countless things vying for your attention. This mental noise robs you of your ability to stay in the moment and give your full energy to the task at hand. Mindfulness is the antidote. It's the practice of being fully aware of the present moment without judgment, bringing your mind back to what matters instead of letting it wander aimlessly. Presence is the result of mindfulness, and it's what allows you to engage deeply, perform at your best, and make meaningful progress in life. Mindfulness begins with awareness. You can't be present if you don't recognize when your mind has wandered. Most of us operate on autopilot, going through the motions of our day without really paying attention. We're physically present, but mentally elsewhere, thinking about what we need to do later, rehashing past conversations, or getting lost in distractions. This lack of awareness creates stress, inefficiency, and a sense of disconnection from the work and people around us. Mindfulness invites you to pause and notice when your attention has drifted so you can bring it back to the moment. The beauty of mindfulness is that it doesn't require you to stop everything and meditate for hours. It can be practiced in small, simple ways throughout your day. For instance, when you're working on a task, take a moment to center yourself. Focus on your breath. Feel the sensation of your hands on the keyboard or the pen in your hand, and commit to giving your full attention to what you're doing. When your mind starts to wander, as it inevitably will, gently guide it back to the present. This act of redirecting your focus is the essence of mindfulness, and the more you practice it, the stronger your ability to stay present becomes. One of the most effective ways to cultivate mindfulness is through the breath. Your breath is always with you, and it's a powerful anchor to the present moment. When you're feeling overwhelmed or distracted, take a few deep breaths and focus on the sensation of the air entering and leaving your body. This simple act can calm your mind, reduce stress, and bring your attention back to the here and now. Mindful breathing isn't just a relaxation technique, it's a tool for building awareness and presence. It creates a pause in the chaos of your thoughts, allowing you to regain clarity and focus. Practicing mindfulness also involves letting go of judgment. Too often we criticize ourselves when we lose focus or make a mistake. This self-criticism only adds to our mental clutter, making it harder to stay present. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and actions without labeling them as good or bad. If you notice your mind wandering during a task, don't beat yourself up, acknowledge it, and gently bring your attention back. This non-judgmental approach helps you develop resilience and patience with yourself, which are essential for maintaining focus over the long term. Presence isn't just about focusing on tasks, it's also about being fully engaged with the people around you. In a world dominated by distractions, it's rare to give someone your undivided attention. But when you do, it creates a powerful connection and fosters trust and understanding. Whether you're in a meeting, having a conversation with a loved one, or simply listening to someone share their thoughts, practicing presence means putting away your phone, silencing your inner chatter, and truly being there. This not only improves your relationships, but also enhances your ability to focus, as it trains your mind to stay in the moment. Mindfulness also helps you manage stress, which is one of the biggest enemies of focus. When you're stressed, your mind races and it becomes nearly impossible to concentrate. Mindfulness allows you to step back from your stressors and observe them without getting caught up in them. Instead of reacting impulsively to a challenge or setback, you learn to respond thoughtfully and calmly. This creates mental space for clarity and focus, enabling you to approach your tasks with a clear mind. Another benefit of mindfulness is that it trains you to focus on one thing at a time. In today's culture of multitasking, it's easy to believe that juggling several tasks at once is the most productive approach. But research shows that multitasking actually reduces efficiency and increases errors. Mindfulness encourages you to commit fully to one task before moving on to the next. This single-tasking approach not only improves the quality of your work, but also helps you complete tasks faster because you're not constantly switching gears. Practicing mindfulness also means embracing the present moment, even when it's uncomfortable or challenging. It's easy to get caught up in wishing things were different or waiting for a better time to start working on your goals. But the only moment you truly have is now. Mindfulness reminds you that the present is where your power lies. Instead of resisting the moment or distracting yourself from it, lean into it. Accept it for what it is and make the most of it. This mindset shift allows you to approach your work with a sense of purpose and urgency rather than waiting for the perfect conditions that may never come. Building mindfulness and presence takes time and practice. It's not something you master overnight, but every small effort counts. Each time you bring your mind back to the present, you're strengthening your ability to focus and stay grounded. Over time, these moments of mindfulness add up, creating a deep sense of presence that carries over into every area of your life. Mindfulness and presence are not just practices, they're ways of being. They allow you to live more intentionally, work more effectively, and connect more deeply with yourself and others. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you unlock the ability to focus fully, think clearly, and act decisively. It's not always easy, but the rewards are immense. When you master mindfulness, you master your mind, and when you master your mind, you open the door to limitless potential. Eliminating distractions is one of the most critical steps toward achieving a sharp and unwavering focus. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, pulling our attention in countless directions and making it harder than ever to stay on task. These distractions don't just steal time, they also fragment our energy and dilute our ability to concentrate deeply on what truly matters. Whether it's the constant buzz of notifications, the allure of social media, or the endless stream of tasks demanding your attention, distractions can derail even the most disciplined and motivated individuals. Learning to eliminate or minimize these distractions is essential if you want to take control of your mind and maximize your productivity. The first step in eliminating distractions is identifying them. Distractions are often so ingrained in our daily routines that we don't even recognize how much they interfere with our focus. They can be external, such as emails, phone calls, or interruptions from others, or internal, like wandering thoughts, stress, or a lack of clarity about priorities. To overcome distractions, you must first become aware of what's pulling you away from your goals. Take an honest look at your habits and environment. Are you constantly checking your phone? Do you let emails or messages dictate your schedule? Are you spending too much time on tasks that don't align with your priorities? Awareness is the foundation for change, so begin by identifying your most common distractions. Once you've identified your distractions, the next step is to take proactive measures to reduce or eliminate them. One of the most effective ways to do this is by creating a focused environment. Your surroundings play a significant role in your ability to concentrate. If your workspace is cluttered, noisy, or filled with tempting distractions, it will be nearly impossible to maintain focus. Start by organizing your physical space. Clear away anything that isn't directly related to the task at hand. A clean and minimalistic environment can do wonders for your mental clarity. If noise is a problem, consider using noise-canceling headphones or playing ambient music to block out distractions. Digital distractions are some of the biggest culprits in today's age, and managing them requires intentional effort. Smartphones, while incredibly useful, are one of the most common sources of distraction. Notifications, apps, and social media platforms are designed to grab your attention and keep you engaged, often at the expense of your productivity. To combat this, set boundaries with your devices. Turn off non-essential notifications, put your phone on silent, or place it in another room while you work. There are also apps and tools designed to limit screen time or block access to distracting websites during certain periods. Use these tools to create a digital environment that supports focus rather than undermines it. Another powerful strategy for eliminating distractions is time blocking. When you schedule specific blocks of time for focused work, you create a structure that minimizes opportunities for distractions to creep in. During these blocks, commit to working on one task and nothing else. Let the people around you know that you're unavailable during these times to prevent interruptions. Time blocking also helps you resist the urge to multitask, which is itself a form of distraction. Contrary to popular belief, multitasking doesn't make you more productive. It divides your attention and reduces the quality of your work. By dedicating uninterrupted time to each task, you can work more efficiently and effectively. Managing internal distractions is just as important as managing external ones. Your mind can be your greatest ally or your biggest obstacle, depending on how you train it. Internal distractions often take the form of overthinking, stress, or a lack of mental clarity. To address these, start by setting clear goals and priorities. When you're unsure about what you're trying to accomplish, it's easy to get sidetracked. Take the time to define your objectives and break them down into actionable steps. Knowing exactly what you need to do and why it matters provides a sense of direction and purpose, making it easier to stay focused. Stress and mental clutter can also be significant internal distractions. When your mind is racing with worries or competing thoughts, it's difficult to concentrate on the present moment. Practices like mindfulness and meditation can help calm your mind and improve your ability to focus. Even a few minutes of mindful breathing or meditation each day can make a noticeable difference in reducing internal distractions. Journaling can also be a helpful tool for clearing your mind. By writing down your thoughts, worries, or to-do lists, you create mental space and free up your attention for the task at hand. Another key to eliminating distractions is learning to say no. Many distractions come in the form of demands on your time and energy, requests from others, unexpected tasks, or opportunities that don't align with your priorities. While it's important to be helpful and open to new experiences, saying yes to everything can spread you too thin and prevent you from focusing on what truly matters. Practice setting boundaries and saying no to commitments that don't serve your goals. Remember, every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Be intentional about where you direct your time and energy. One often overlooked source of distraction is fatigue. When you're tired, your ability to focus diminishes, and you're more likely to succumb to distractions. Prioritizing rest and self-care is essential for maintaining focus and productivity. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating well, and taking breaks throughout the day to recharge. Pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion may seem productive in the short term, but it ultimately leads to diminished performance and increased susceptibility to distractions. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being is a critical part of staying focused. Practice discipline and consistency in managing distractions. Eliminating distractions isn't a one-time effort. It requires ongoing commitment. There will always be new distractions trying to pull your attention away, but with discipline, you can train yourself to stay focused despite them. Each time you resist a distraction, you strengthen your ability to focus. Over time, this becomes a habit, and staying focused becomes second nature. By taking intentional steps to eliminate distractions, both external and internal, you reclaim control over. Eliminating distractions is about reclaiming control of your time and energy. By creating a focused environment, setting boundaries, managing internal clutter, and practicing discipline, you pave the way for deeper concentration and greater productivity. The more intentional you are about minimizing distractions, the closer you get to achieving your goals with clarity and purpose. Focus thrives when distractions fade.